Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today, the finale, it's done. I just watched it and we are going to get into a breakdown, Easter eggs, and review of the final episode of Stargirl, Stars and Stripes Part 2. But before we do that, make sure you guys go and follow my Instagram, jloz.dc, for daily DC facts, awesome moments from the comics, and all your DC news. It'll be the link in the description. So check that out. But without further ado, well, let's get in. We've got a lot to talk about. Now, for a breakdown, this episode had a lot in it. And there's a lot to cover, and we'll get to the Easter eggs as they go. So, the Easter eggs will probably be fused into basically the breakdown. The finale. It is the finale. Look, before we even start, I was so excited. It's the last episode, 13 episodes, left on a big cliffhanger at the end of the last. This had so much in it. We'll just get started. The opening scene with, what's his name? The fiddler, Isaac Bowen. He sort of, we sort of had to convince ourselves that this sweet little mummy's boy turned evil, and I guess he has. He still doesn't know his mum's dead. We'll obviously have to explore that in the next season. Anyway, the massive dome pops out of the Blue Valley Oval, the high school oval, the Prairie Dogs Oval, and all the kids are confused. Brainwave turns on his signal. One of the dudes in the bow tie, he looks so much like Johnny Thunder. I thought that was a little bit of an Easter egg to Johnny Thunder, and you might go, oh, he's dead. Trust me, that doesn't matter. Watch to the end. Anyway, the thing starts turning on. All the adults start to, flick their switches. Their eyes keep tingling. Tingling's not the word. Probably buzzing. Then we get the icicle walking down Blue Valley with all the adults. They're all just frozen solid, waiting for Brainwave to do something with them. And we see on this is our first Easter egg of the episode. We see that the movie theatre has actually changed from now playing Strange Adventures, of course, Adam Strange, to now playing The Haunted Tank. Now, for those of you who don't know, The Haunted Tank is like another old World War II-esque hero from the 60s from DC. It's basically, as you'd say, GI combat. He's basically just a haunted tank. It's just like a title, I guess. So, yeah, another sort of similar to Sergeant Rock and all the Easter eggs we've sort of been getting around there. So that's our first Easter egg. Now, our last cliffhanger we were left on, of course, Pat was about to punch Courtney, and then it went bang right to the credits. Well done. And basically we get the start off of that. Courtney's just like, Pat, what's going on? So basically Pat's about to kill Courtney, obviously. Brainwave's controlling him specifically to murder Courtney. Punching. Courtney's trying her best. Pat, it's me. Pat, Pat, this isn't you, you're Stripe, la-di-da-di-da. Obviously it's useless until she says, it's your daughter. And just as he's about to knock Courtney's face into a bunch of red jelly, he stops. And he starts to fight. Now we know that those who fight, as Beth's having a little to and fro with the gambler, those who fight, brain shuts down, as we knew from the last episode. So the teacher that broke up the fight between Bowen and the bully dies. His nervous system shuts down because he fights too hard. And that's what's happening with Pat. And there's a massive moment where we might be losing Barbara and we might be losing Pat. We then get a awesome moment where Chuck and Beth, they're hanging about, they're doing all their stuff, working around the gambler, shutting down all of his bank accounts and donating it all to charity. The gambler's losing his crap. So then they turn on the signal blockers. I knew that was going to play a part because that was mentioned last episode really thoroughly. So we get the Pat shut it. Beth and Dr. Midnight, they shut the signal blockers down, and basically all those inside the ISA headquarters are freed, which means Justin and Pat are ready to join the fight. We then move into a fight scene between the ISA, Sportsmaster Tigress, Icicle, and Dragon King versus Stripe, Justin, Owlman, Yolanda, and of course Courtney. And it's awesome. It's a really cool fight scene. Anyway, we basically see them moving in. They're fighting. Sportsmaster and Tigress get whipped out. The Gambler decides, how about you get some backup reinforcements? So sends Solomon Grundy down, which I thought was an awesome moment. So Solomon Grundy's in the fight now. He's just hanging out, waiting for the right moment to enter. Dragon King is fighting with the Shining Knight. The Shining Knight is bested by Dragon King. They're in the middle of throwing and fighting with their swords, and one of their swords nicks the lock on Cindy Berman's cage. And, Dragon King bests the Shining Knight. Is about to stab him right in the throat. Bang! Bang! Straight through Dragon King's chest comes Cindy's wrist swords. The Deadpool X-Men, those things. Basically, that's exactly what they are. We then get Icicle about to be knocked out, and Pat's about to just smack him. Basically, the ISA got took out. Pat's about to smack Icicle and end it right there. Bang! Solomon Grundy comes in. Everybody craps themselves. Pat tells everyone to get back onto what they are doing. So they all start to head back out to their own little posts. Yolanda goes to find Brainwave. Owlman, he wants Grundy. So does Pat. So Pat's in the middle of fighting Grundy. Obviously, Courtney goes off to do whatever Courtney's doing. We get a really cool fight scene with... Oh my god, the moment Grundy walked in, it was incredible. Same with Cindy. Cindy came out of nowhere. Anyway, we get to Yolanda, and Yolanda going to shut off the machine. Brainwave basically goes, look, Steven, the gambler, said my single for 5 minutes, I'm going to go and murder these children. So he walks off. Then we get Yolanda heading to the machine, and a bunch of Dragon King's men, basically, those clones thingies. I don't know what they are. They head out to fight Yolanda. Yolanda bests them all, and then we see one of them go, wait, and he's got the voice of Henry King Jr., and I was like, Brainwave Jr.'s alive. I knew they'd do this. I knew they'd be cheap. Anyway, he's saying, look, Dad didn't kill me, all of this stuff, and I was thinking, what about the energy release that went into the normal brainwave? What about all that? Just avoid that. Who knows? All of this stuff. Yolanda's, oh my god, I love her, they're all having a big reunion, and then Henry goes, alright, I know how to shut off my dad. Where are your friends? Yolanda cuts his throat, starts bursting out. I'm like, what is going on? Yolanda just killed Brainwave Jr. She's evil. She's bloody evil. Anyway, we see this green vapor seep off Brainwave Jr. It was Brainwave. It was the normal Brainwave. And she goes, they were Henry's friends too. And then, like all bloody evil genius, I'm gonna watch you die just like you watched Henry die. Jesus Christ, Yolanda, you were supposed to be a hero. Ted Grant is not this malicious. Anyway, Brainwave is dead. What the hell? Why is Brainwave dead? Anyway, Brainwave's dead. Plot reasons. Yolanda's evil. Plot reasons. Jordan, the gambler's like, Jordan, you need to stop Dr. Midnight. She's gonna stuff up. Doesn't matter what happens in the fight. If Dr. Midnight's allowed to shut down the machine, then it's all done. So Jordan, obviously, apart from switching to his pilot episode gear from his beautiful suits and calm swish kills a cucumber demeanor, we switch to t-shirt, jacket, and a nice little totem around the neck, and he goes mad. He attacks Barbara and Beth. He, flips Beth away. He kills Dr. Midnight, and I really like Dr. Midnight because Beth and Chuck had a really nice moment when they defeated the Gamblers' firewalls, and they were really, really happy. I'm like, good, I like this character. I like Dr. Midnight. I like Beth, I like them working together. No. It wasn't meant to be. So Icicle kills Dr. Midnight basically by destroying the goggles. Obviously, they'll find a way to mend the goggles. Basically, I think, they should have killed Beth. I think this is, anyway, I'll get into it later. Jordan kidnaps Barbara, starts going absolutely bonkers. It reminds me of that Cinema Sins on the Harley Quinn Birds of Prey movie. They've basically gone, well, the whole run, this whole 12 episode run, Icicle's been made out to be a bad guy. Yeah, but he's still a pretty good guy. He's still pretty good. He's still trying to do the right things. He's just pretty messed up. No, they've tossed all of that into the garbage bin, and they have basically just gone out going, no, Icicle's a bad person. He has lost his mind. He has gone, he's on Troppo. He has gone mad. He's kidnapping Barbara, he's going crazy, he's touching her, doing all this stuff we've never seen Jordan do. He's, like I said before, cool, calm, collected, cool as a cucumber, and now he's mad as a hatter. Absolutely bonkers. And, it's like, doing all this stuff, I don't care, I'll kill everyone, it's like, I might just hate this guy, I might just start hating this guy, I'm sort of on the fence, no, they want me to hate him, so, there you go, Geoff Johns, I hate Icicle now, right? Do what you want to him, and do what they did to him, they certainly did. We then get, where's my notes? Oh, Rick, basically, Pat is fighting Grundy, and obviously this is Solomon Grundy here, the master of the grey, the absolute powerhouse, the original Hulk, can't really die, unless you just rip him to bits like they did in Deceased. So he basically makes light word of Pat ripping off his arm, not Pat as in the person, ripping off Stripe's arms, ripping off his legs, and somehow Grundy knows that there's a Pat in there. Why doesn't Grundy just think there's a robot? Anyway, Grundy rips open, sees Pat. I'm like, oh my god, what's about to happen? Oh, no. Oh, that's right. Grundy knocks Rick away. That's why Rick didn't go and do what he was doing. That's right, I forgot about that. And Rick basically appears just in the nick of time and smacks Grundy, and they begin to have a fight. And then we cut away back to more Jordan stuff, all this stuff. Pat runs off to go and help Barbara. I think Courtney begins to discover what Yolanda has done, and basically looks at Yolanda like she's a bloody murderer. There was also a really weird scene targeting Yolanda's religion with Rick. I thought that was quite out of place, if you know what I mean. I just thought that was weird. Anyway, everyone comes back. We flip back to Rick. Rick's beating the absolute crap out of Grundy. Grundy's about to fall to pieces. And there's this, originally I'm like, yeah, good Rick, you show Grundy who's boss. And then Grundy's begging for mercy. And it's like, oh dear. Beautiful scene. Absolutely beautiful scene. Grundy's begging for mercy. Rick's like, fight back, goddammit, fight back! One of those scenes where he just wants to murder him, all this bottled up anger that he's been keeping for this moment. He just wants to murder Grundy. Yolanda, she's going, do you think this will make you better beforehand? And he's just doing it, and he won't fight back. And he just goes, he just realised what he's doing is wrong. And he just goes, get out of here. And Solomon Grundy gets out of here. And he's gone. And it's a really, really, really good scene. Anyway, we all flip back to the big clock tower, which has actually become a reoccurring place in Stargirl. And basically, obviously, Barbara and Icicle are at the top. Pat's about to smack Icicle. Go, Pat. No powers. You'll kick his ass. Anyway, Icicle's like, how are you going to defeat me, Pat? No, that's Pat's voice. How are you going to defeat me, Pat? You ain't got no powers. And then Pat's like, our daughter will. And then she just comes out and smacks Icicle. A bit of a fight with Icicle. Pretty cool. Usually Icicle would have taken her out in a second, but obviously this is plot devices and this is the finale. There ain't going to be no more Icicle after this, because that wouldn't be good for the plot, would it? No. We get all of our reoccurring characters. We get Beth, who's downtrodden because of the goggles. Rick's run out of minutes because of Grundy. Justin's out there just, doing Justin things. Obviously Courtney got to do a little bit of fight with Cindy, so she's down for the count for a bit. And Yolanda's just hanging. So basically we get our climactic fight. Basically Icicle gets flipped over and lands on the ground after a bit of an altercation, and Courtney falls off the edge, and Yolanda jumps down to save Courtney just in the nick of time. And, they're going, oh, great, that was awesome. And I kid you not. I honestly kid you not. At this exact... I don't know how they did this, but oh my God, it was mad. At this exact moment, I mean, obviously there was a bit of bleeps in here, but I'm like, where is Mike? Where is Mike? And then Icicle gets up and he's about to murder. Bang! Mike just destroys Icicle. Turns him into a bunch of ice blocks. Oh my God. At the exact moment, I said, where is Mike? And bang! Mike turns up and he goes, does this mean I get to be a part of the GSA now? Mike. Classic Mike. Love you to bits, Mike. Love you to bits. Oh, it was just like, no way. How did I get this? And this is where we get this. This is where we get this moment. And I sit there and I go, wait, what? Courtney's looking at Yolanda like she's just committed genocide after slitting the throat of Brainwave. Mike drives over Icicle and turns him into a bunch of ice cubes. And everyone's like, yeah, go Mike, you're a bloody legend, go, yeah. What is this? The double standard. Anyway, we're moving on. Obviously, the climax has happened. The Gambler, basically we get a few loose ends here. The Gambler, first of all, every member of the ISA is still alive except Dragon King, Brainwave, and Icicle. The Gambler, Sportsmaster, Tigress, and Solomon Grundy are all still out there and are all still either going to be brought back into the second season. Anyway, we'll move on to this after. We're still in the plot. We get to this little part in the film. Beth's really sad because Dr. Midnight's dead. And I would be really sad too. I liked Chuck. I really did. Justin's sad because he didn't actually slay the dragon. Bloody Cindy did. Go away, Cindy. I do not like you at all. Justin's sad, and he basically packs up all his possessions and he goes, yeah, I want to go and find my steed. His horse that he's always been rappling on about. And then he goes, oh yeah, I'll find the other 7 soldiers of victory too. Oh yes, you do that, Justin. Woo! Hell yes. I want to see Vigilante in his first live action appearance. Please, Jeff Johns. Oh, I know he will. He's such a good bloke. Anyway, that was basically the episode. Yeah, that's about... Oh, no, hold on. You know what's going on. We then move into the little... Now, I was watching a video, I think, by Pagey, and he basically said there's going to be some sort of post-credit scene, some sort of little bits setting up the next season. I thought, yeah, I sort of predicted that. They're obviously going to tie into the next season. Obviously, this show's so successful, they need to draw new people in, and they need to leave people on a cliffhanger, and my God, did they. And this is where we're going to move into, I guess, the the rest of the back half of the oh my God parts of the episode. So basically we turn back to everyone's like, oh yeah, we're all happy, shut up. And we move on to the villains. So the Shade, he's sitting in the ISA headquarters and I think he says something like, I knew it was foolish, Jordan, or something like that. And the ISA, he looks cool, by the way, he looks bloody awesome, and his effects are cool as. And his shade slowly sleeps over the portrait until it's just him, because all the other ones are either out of the picture or dead, but I'll get to it in a second. We then flip, bang, one more time. Not Courtney, why do I get them confused? Cindy is rummaging through this basement with all the ISA's belongings. There's Councilman Zarek, posters, there's a bunch of other stuff, the wizard stuff. Anyway, Cindy is rummaging through a bunch of boxes, and she's rummaging through this one. I'm like, what are you doing, Cindy? What are you doing? And basically she goes, I knew I'd find you. And she picks up this little gemstone and it starts to glow. Eclipso. And I was like, oh my God. I did not know this was going to be that much of a setup. Oh my God. Basically, Eclipso. Oh my God, this was such an awesome moment. I thought they'd set up. How about they set up a little member of the ISA that didn't actually come. Predegaton. Johnny Sorrow. No. they're going to bring in the literal incarnation of the wrath of God before the Spectre. This is him. He is literally the wrath of God. He's the Spectre before the Spectre. Oh my God. He was just, it's mad. His abilities go on forever. Spirit possession, immortality, energy vision and energy blast, superhuman strength, speed, stamina, invulnerability, flight, weather modification, divine siphoning, nigh omnipotent. It just goes on. Dark side release, corruption inducement, possession transformation. This dude is literally the Spectre before the Spectre. It's incredible. And he's going to be the next villain. One of the next villains to the next ISA. And that's where we move to 6 months later, I think it is. And we get Christmas time. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. The first song that played in the actual Stargirl pilot. You know, nice little hint there. And then we get this beautiful moment between Pat and Courtney. And, you know, they sitting at the Christmas tree and Courtney calls Pat over. And she's like, yeah, Pat, come over here. Pat goes, sure, Court. And then I'm like, oh, no, you're not, Courtney. You legend. You are. You're a bloody legend. And she gives Pat the gift that was for, idiot, I forget his name, thank God. Courtney's actual dad, which is a really good symbolism for the fact that Courtney really meant what she said to Pat. She really believes that Pat is her dad. And inside is a beautiful homemade mug that says world's greatest dad with a nice little smiley, a crude smiley face, which is beautiful. Great moment. They have a big hug. Barbara's bloody tearing up. Barbara. Anyway, that happens. And that is Stars and Stripe Part 2. They're flying around in the snow. You know, Courtney goes out by herself. And then Pat follows and they're sitting on this big water well. It's a beautiful moment. They're all just sitting there. And then they fly off. And then the credits roll. And we get dedicated to Courtney Elizabeth Johns, who is, of course, Geoff Johns' sister, who tragically died in a plane accident. That's who Stargirl is dedicated to. And, of course, it would be fitting to have this incredible series dedicated to her. So, rest in peace. You thought we were done, didn't you? You thought we were done. No, we were not done. Post-credit scene. Some bloke who looks like Courtney's dad starts knocking on the door of somebody, and he comes. I thought he was a villain for a second. He's like, "Do you know Pat Dugan?" And he goes, "No, he moved out months ago." And he goes, "Do you know where I can find him?" And he said, yeah. Who are you? You know, la ti da ti da. Oh, I'm just an old friend. Camera pans. It's oh God, I'm trying so hard not to. It is Starman. It's Sylvester Pemberton. It's Starman. He's here. Somehow he's alive. Or is he alive? Who knows? Who knows if he's alive? Honestly, I don't believe it. It could be someone pretending to be Starman. Honestly, I've got no idea. But oh my God, was that absolutely cool. He was just. That was just a mad. I'm trying to think of someone who can shapeshift and would know. Who would know. You know, all this stuff, and then all of this. You know, I don't know, but I don't believe it's Starman. I just don't. You're gonna have to give me more than this, Geoff Johns. I don't believe this is Starman, but I do at the same time. Who could have done it? I don't know. Brainwave could have done it. Brainwave's throat slit. I don't believe. I'll get into this later on. Starman is alive. That's basically the thing. Now we'll move on to the review. The Easter eggs were in there. Don't worry. You know, we're sort of just getting in there. I'll put a few timestamps hopefully. Let's get into the review of it. Now it's sort of the review. You know already, if you've watched my previous videos, I love this show to bits and I'm never going to say anything bad about it. So basically this review section is just going to be the things I had problems with. Now, my first problem is that the ISA, when they get beaten, where are they? Obviously, and I keep trying to stop myself from touching on this, the ISA is obviously going to be in the next season, because they're going to have to create another ISA or another group of villains that could possibly prove a threat to our new JSA. So the new ISA is going to have to be Sportsmaster Tigress, the new Fiddler, or the Tuber up. The Shade, Solomon Grundy, Eclipso, Cindy, or not, or maybe they've just buggered off, because I can tell you for a fact, unless Cindy went around and slit all their throats, which would be dark as hell, they're obviously going to need a new set of villains, and I think they're going to have to go for a new set of villains. So I have no idea, maybe Sportsmaster and Tigress and Grundy are all laying, and the Gambler. The Gambler was interesting. The Gambler deleted all the files and downloaded all this stuff, and he buggered off. And he went into this room. I don't know what's going to happen to the Gambler. I don't know whether it was just maybe he's just bopping out to timber somewhere. But I don't know. And it was really interesting. So that's going to have to be something that we keep in the back of our minds for the second season. Now, as of yet, I am not sure when the Stargirl Season 2 release date is. Excuse me. Got a bit of hair in my mouth. So I don't know about that at all. But what I do know is there's going to be a lot of... So, Sylvester Pemberton, whether he's good or bad, he's going to be there. The Shade, he's going to be there. Eclipso is going to be there. Cindy's obviously going to be there. Cindy hasn't had her time to shine in the limelight. For plot reasons, she's basically just been chucked in a cage until the climax. My main problems with the ISA who died... Dragon King, meh, I don't really care. Cindy should have let bloody Justin kill him. Go away, Cindy, I don't like you. Anyway... Brainwave, I'm really not convinced Brainwave's dead. How does Brainwave just die like that? Brainwave could stop Yolanda's nervous system with just the thought. And yet he lets her cut his throat. Obviously she moves fast, but Brainwave didn't do anything. He just fell down and bled out. I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced. And that's the thing with this show. If you're not convinced, it's probably not convincing for a reason. And that's what we got with things like The Shade and things like The Death of Owlman. If it's not convincing, if you didn't see him die, and if you didn't get confirmation, they're probably not dead. So that's basically that. Now Brainwave, it's interesting. Even if Brainwave's dead, Courtney looked at Yolanda. I think Yolanda might even flip to the dark side, honestly. They wouldn't be... First of all, we'll start off with this. So, Rick's talking about how he's going to bash into that vault and kill Grundy and all this stuff. And Yolanda's like, what's going to happen? You know, why would you do that? Killing's not the right thing. And then, thank you. And then, Rick basically says, who's going to tell me not to? God? And it was a really interesting moment because, well, her religion was questioned. Now, in Yolanda's backstory, we definitely got a really good show of that she is very religious and her family was almost disowned her because family is another point I'll touch on. And basically, she sort of just changes from that moment on. And I think she's going to turn evil, my guy. I think she's going to turn very, very evil, but we will have to wait and see. Anyway, Yolanda murders Brainwave, slits his throat. Disgusting. Evil monologue. She's going to flip. Honestly, with this show, if you think something's going to happen and it's obvious that there's going to be confliction, the confliction's going to culminate. And it's just a matter of what it's going to culminate with. Is she going to culminate by going to the bad side? Is she going to culminate by betraying? Is she going to culminate by sacrificing? Who knows? It's literally all up in the air, but that's an interesting moment. And then when Mike kills Icicle, it's like, good one, Mike. I think that might be most of what I'm going to put in my predictions for season 2 here. Basically what I know, Icicle is dead. Icicle's not coming back. And it happened. This is what I've been hinting at all this time. The ISA was killed too easily. My God. Sure, Grundy was there, but Owlman kicked Grundy's ass to the point where Grundy was begging for mercy. Dr. Fate. Do I need to say any more? Alright, I'll say more. Alan Scott. Don't need to say... Okay, yeah, I will say some more. Johnny Thunder. The Flash. Starman. The Hawks. How did they all of them, die to the ISA. All of them. And they all got their asses kicked by a bunch of teenagers. They're very good teenagers. But it's convincing when Tigress and Sportsmaster bit the dust. They'd bitten the dust basically every single time. The ISA is down on men. I will give them that. There's no Zarek. There's no Fiddler. There's none of those fellas. Anyway, they got taken out too easily, I reckon. I just reckon if they don't show up next season, it'll be really annoying. Now, what we are going to get next season, and what everyone's basically forgotten about, is there is an Alan Scott Green Lantern just hanging in Courtney's closet. And by the same token, there is Johnny Thunder's pink pen. So we're going to get a new Alan Scott, and we're going to get a new Johnny Thunder. Whether it's Jakeem, whether it's Mike, who knows? Who knows? Who cares? As long as they're good. Obviously, we have the Shade, we have Eclipso, we have Cindy, we have the Gambler. The Gambler's really interesting. I'm just really intrigued as to where they'll take the Gambler's character from here. Starman is basically alive. I'm pretty much convinced. And we are going to see the 7 Soldiers of Victory. I bloody hope so. But with that being said, guys, I really liked this episode. It was probably my favourite. It was definitely my favourite, actually. I really liked it. I had a lot to say about it, so I thank you for watching my video. I'm going to get this out really, really, really quickly so that you guys can watch it, and hopefully as many people as well can. If you enjoyed, make sure to slap a like on it. Turn on the notifications bell, and I implore you to subscribe. If you like this, then basically you'll like what else I'm throwing up. Go and watch my Stargirl season halfway review. You'll enjoy that, I promise. And then I'm going to do another review of the back half of the season as well. But make sure you subscribe and follow my Instagram, jlos.dc. The link will be in the description for daily DC facts, news, and also moments from the comics. Without further ado, guys, I will see you later. You have a great day, and I will see you in the next video. Cheers.